13 News now begins with breaking news. A tractor trailer plunges off the Bay Bridge Tunnel and into the Chesapeake Bay.
Search efforts are underway as we speak. It is Friday night. I'm Regina Mobley.
And I'm David Allen. Let's get things started with that breaking news. Our team is working this story from several different angles. Meteorologist Evan Stewart is examining what role strong storms may have played.
But first, we want to get to the very latest on the search efforts. Robert Boyd is live to begin our team coverage from the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel.
Well, Regina, within the last hour, all lanes have now reopened here on the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel, but it was quite a mess for several hours tonight. According to authorities, it was around 6:30 when a van collided with a tractor trailer, sending that tractor trailer overboard into the water, and at this time, still no update on the driver of that tractor trailer. As we were driving across the bridge earlier tonight, we were trying to look over the side, trying to peer into the water, see if we could see search and rescue crews, see if we could see any kind of police lights, but it's just been so rainy and it's so dark, it was just very tough for us to see. There is no visibility. So right now, we're still waiting an update on the driver of the tractor trailer. As for the van involved in that crash, 5 people were inside that van. Fortunately, all 5 of them were treated on the scene and are all expected to be okay. And the cause of this crash is still under investigation. We have to wonder, with all the rain we've had, very wet roads out there, miles per hour is supposed to be down to 35 or less. You got to wonder if the weather was a factor in this crash, and we'll still wait and see what the final verdict is on that. Live from the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel, Robert Boyd, 13 News Now.
As Robert mentioned, weather will likely be a factor investigators will be looking into as they try to piece together what went wrong.
Meteorologist Evan Stewart has more on that and the conditions facing rescuers tonight.
Well, certainly not as bad as it was earlier this evening. Quite a light show out there with a lot of lightning, but most of the storms didn't have a lot of wind with them. And it looks like the one that was over the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel didn't either. We'll start off with a look at the radar right now. We are tracking still some more moderate rain up across the eastern shore, and we also have some heavy rain right along the state line through parts of Northampton County, North Carolina. But there was a lot of heavy rain earlier, and again, a big light show up across portions of the peninsula and the middle peninsula. And I'll take you back to 6:30 this evening. We were just wrapping up the news, and we had talked about this big thunderstorm that had just sat over the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel for about an hour or so, producing heavy rain. But as far as the winds go, wind gusts reported at 6:30 of 34 miles per hour at this buoy just off the Bay Bridge Tunnel. And there's actually a sensor right here that had a 27-mile-per-hour wind gust. Now, that doesn't mean that right here underneath the core of the storm there couldn't have been a higher gust, or there might have been issues with visibility because of the heavy rain or some hydroplaning coming off of the bridge section there, that high-rise bridge just off of Fisherman's Island.